Well, Gary, you must be very disappointed with that, and I think it's probably fair to say we paid for 4 minutes of madness just before the end of the first half, and also for missing a penalty very early on.
Yeah, you know, I'm probably the same as anybody in respect to the support here today, and probably everybody connected with Dartford Football Club would have probably looked at the first 35-40 minutes of the game and were probably thinking to themselves, well, you know, Woking have been well on top, had an ideal opportunity early on. Yes, as you correctly say, I thought we started the game very brightly, and we didn't take the penalty. It was a poor penalty, and at the end of the day, we found ourselves after they had a penalty, I think it was 1-0 to the good then from a free kick from Andy Burgess. Great goal, great execution, and at that time very much in control of the game, and you know, couldn't see any dangers in respect of what was going to come leading up to the events in the last 5 minutes of the first half. But from my point of view, their first goal was a cheap goal for us to concede, and what's probably disappointed me more than anything is not so much getting beat, but the manner of it, in respect of, we had a 5-minute spell down at Eastleigh, and we've had a 5-minute spell here today against Dartford, and yes, we've got a lot of young players, but what football players have got to turn around and realise, and what people have got to turn around and understand, is that when you turn around and concede a goal, it's no good feeling sorry for yourself or thinking, how's that happened? You've got to get back on it. And we've done that in both games. Eastleigh away, here today, 5-minute spell in both matches have cost us points. Now, I talked to a reporter earlier, he said, do you think that's being hard on the players? I said, no, it's being honest. You know, we've had a tremendous run, but you can't turn round and be dictating the game the way we were in the first 40 minutes, where we could have been more than one in front, and look for excuses. Defending in our back line there today on their goals was very, very poor. I think Andy Little was left exposed, and as much as we've been very, very good defensively, I say the two games, what we talk about, very, very similar times in respect of that when we conceded a goal, it's not been just conceding a goal, it's gone 2 or 3 straight away. So, you know, we've got to turn around now, and we pushed on second half to try and have a go. You might as well try and get something back in the game, and we've got a penalty at the end, and it's 3-2, and they had a go for the last 10 minutes with 10 men. You know, I said at half time about losing discipline and concentration, and Adam Dormer, yeah, it's hard enough when you're 3-1 down, but you can't turn round, even more so when you get sent off on 2 booker balls, to be looking for excuses. And I'm disappointed for the large support we had here. I'm disappointed for everybody connected at our football club, and I talk about our football club, everybody connected at Woking, players, staff, supporters, whatever the capacity they people are in. But we have let ourselves down on our defending today, and we've got to turn around now. We've got a lot of hard work to do, and we've got 4 games to go. I always said out of 5 games I think we need 10 points. I still believe we need 10 points from 4 games. It's a tall order, but it can be done. You know, it can be done. And we've had a few things go on, as we know. People turn around and say to me, we lost Kieran Murtagh, we lost Jay Davis. Yes, we have. It was unfortunate circumstances, but we found ourselves in a great position and a great run. And all I would turn around and say is that we've got to work hard over the next 4 games. And I like to think that going forward, we've got something to build with at the football club, and it's not all over between now and the end of the season. But you know, when I see the numbers, what we've got support going away, and the way the crowd's been creeping up at home over the last month, 6 weeks, they keep behind the team. You know, they want to see honesty. And one thing is, they've got a management team here with honesty. There won't be no excuses from me or Steve Thompson, or looking for this excuse, that excuse about we ain't got a budget, or we ain't got this, we ain't got that. One thing about me at the end of the day, and one thing we'll get with Steve Thompson, is that we will work hard at this football club, but today we had a team which did not defend properly, and if you don't defend properly, you can't expect to get, you know, the prizes or the points on offer.
Why do you think it is we've gone from looking so good at the back, looking as though we're not going to concede, we were on that fabulous run, conceded a couple of goals, and now we suddenly look like we did against Eastleigh, vulnerable. In fact, really, on Tuesday night against Dorchester, we looked vulnerable, and we've carried that on today, as you say, for that sort of spell. Why is that suddenly starting to happen?
I wish I knew. I'd be worth a lot of money, but when I look at it, you do get people, and we've got overall quite a young side. And you've got a situation that people do get nervous, and it affects people in different ways. But the way we started here today, we couldn't have started no better. We came out, I thought that we bossed the first half very well, moving the ball around well at a good tempo, getting around areas in the field of play where we could cause them problems. We've had an ideal opportunity, and it's very easy people to turn around and fair point. But if the penalty goes in, we might go on. They didn't look like they wanted to be involved at that time, and could have been 1, 2, 3 up. But it's lovely when the sun's shining and things are going well. But what people have turned around, and what we've got to turn around and install, is that when it's not, we've got to make sure we stick together as a footballing squad, not feel sorry for ourselves when we concede a goal, and have that little bit of passion and desire.
And can I just ask you again about the penalty? Obviously, it was taken and it was missed. I mean, do you select the penalty takers beforehand, or do the players themselves decide it? Because obviously, when Craig Dobson had the opportunity later, a confident lad, he struck it away.
All I would turn around and say is that when came to the club, I was aware that Moses Ademola had taken the last penalty. I think it was away at AFC Wimbledon. And I think we had then had a penalty against somebody, and I think Moses took that penalty then. Nothing's been changed in respect of saying that if Moses don't turn around and take the penalty, someone else will be taking it. Elvis took the responsibility, he wanted the ball, he took the penalty. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem in respect to that. I think we will make a penalty taker now, but not because the horse was bolted, but purely at the end of the day, it was a poor penalty. But with the greatest respect, we were still 1-0 up at the situation when we're talking about how we conceded the goals. And I think, to be fair to anybody, it's very easy to look at one end, but I think collectively, as a unit, the way we defended wasn't good enough. And all credit to Dartford. Dartford battled hard, hung in the game when things weren't going their way. Got a break out, and I think, same as anything, when you get hit on the chin, you've got two choices. You either get up and respond, or you lay on the floor. And I'm afraid for 5 minutes we laid on the floor and we were 3-1 down.
And I take it you have no complaints about Doyley sending off?
No, I'm disappointed with Doyley. I'm disappointed with Doyley. Since I've been at the club, Adam Doyle's been absolute first class. But when you're 3-1 down, and he knows that, there's no good turning away or making excuses or anything. He's done very, very well for us. But even more so, that when he's booked, and it was told at half time, I don't want people getting sent off the easy and the cheap way out. He knows, he's apologised, but at the end of the day, we move on from there. And we've got Bishop Stortford at home next week, and we've got 4 games to go. We've got 12 points on offer, and we've got to try and get as many points as possible. I want 10, we'll try for 12. If we don't, what I don't want a situation is of people turning around and making excuses, saying because this player's gone, that thing's happened, or this or that, but not. Hey, you work with what you got, and we've had a situation where we move on. But one thing is, we've exceeded where we expected to get. We're not finished yet. We're going to push for them last 4 games. But we know, look, going forward, me and Steve Thompson are at Woking Football Club. It's got a lot of tradition, and we've probably overachieved where we are at the moment in such a quick time in respect to getting the position where we got to. But going forward, I think it's a great football club in the time we've been there. They're great supporters. And I know that they're determined and very loyal to see them days come back, and we'll do everything possible. Like I say, I'm disappointed, but at the end of the day, I've got no excuses today. We mustn't look for them, and I don't want all that whole situation going forward. We're fully aware of what there is at the club financially in respect to next year as a budget, which we've already been talking about. In respect of, we've got to have some guidance. Whatever league we're in. And at the present time, we've been informed, again, the budget at the present time, next season, at the moment on April the 9th, it's going to be reduced. So what do you turn around and do? Do you turn around after you've had a good time, spit your dummy out and say, I'm not going to stay here? Or do you turn around and say, we're at a football club, we want to be part of that football club, taking it forward. I'm not a manager who's going to turn around and say, well, I haven't got the budget I want. I've been fully aware, the club have been honest, you know, there's certain trusts and supporters, trusts or sponsorships going on. Everyone's working together at the football club. It's a proper football club. I'm very proud to be there, and I'm not going to turn around whatever comes out between now and the end of the season and have a scenario where I'm turning around and over the summer going, oh, I thought it was going to be more than this. We're aware of it, so we're building for the future. If it's not to be this year, whatever we've got out that football field, going forward with Woking will be players who want to play for the club, win, lose or draw, and show the commitment and desire what me and Steve Thompson want going forward and what the supporters deserve.
Lovely, thanks very much, Gary.
Cheers.